Welcome back, folks. This is an exercise called Rhythmic Bits. So you will find it on your rhythm cards in these little boxes up here in the center. So this one here, for example, shows me a rhythmic bit that sounds like this. Daga daga, right? So it's one enda, okay? So it's 4/16 notes. These are all very short rhythmic samples. Let's get out another card and see what this one says. This one here would be da da, so it's an 8th note dotted plus a 16th note, okay? So the first thing that you can do is just use these rhythmic fragments to come up with a melody, right? That would be a very simple exercise. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more or come up with some more interesting examples, what you can do is combine two cards, and you would do it in this way. You would flip over one of these cards so that the holes are in different orientations. One is pointing to the left, one is pointing to the right, and then you overlay them with one another so that through one window you can see what's written on the other card. And this one here, so we have this still the same rhythm, daga daga, and now in the right window we can see 150 BPM, which would be a tempo that you can pick for whatever rhythmic idea you want to write. And then we have a number. So this one here says 4, on the other end, on the other side it says 1. There might also be some that says 3 plus or something like that. The idea here is that you are supposed to play this rhythm on the 4 of your measure, right? So you would count 1, 2, 3, daga daga, daga daga, daga daga, daga daga. And on the other hand side, if we flip these cards over, we get a completely different exercise. Here we have that dotted 8th note rhythm. And we're supposed to play this at 118 BPM and place it on the downbeat. So this one would be really easy. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, da da, da da. And that's really it. I mean, this is a great tool to come up with some interesting rhythms, and especially if you have some cool rhythmic fragments here. I mean, these two rhythms maybe aren't the most exciting, but for example, placing this da-da on a different count might already create some really interesting results, especially if you place it on offbeats. So if you place this on the 2 and, right, you get a 1, 2, da-da. So did I do that right? Let's try that again. 1, 2, da-da. 1, 2, da-da. That's it, I think. So this is something to just experiment with for a little while, because it creates some rhythms that you otherwise maybe wouldn't think of so much. I think it's a really interesting exercise to come up with interesting rhythms for your melodies, for example, but also for your rhythm sections. So especially if you're into rock music and your guitar patterns are a little bit more elaborate, shall we say, then this is a great exercise to come up with some really interesting rhythms for that. And that's Rhythmic Bits.